Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much. When you're seated, I'd like to ask Lolita to come and light our sacred flame here that's burning. Our very talented teachers and education people have brought so much light into the world through their programs with children. Judy, particularly, we just can't say enough admiration of that wonderful work you and your team and the team from the other schools have done, and kept up that constancy in that work. And we're all looking forward so much to learning more from you and to spreading the word about your work in education. So I'd like to call you up now, please. Thank you.
Ko Judy Dixon, Takawinoa, ko Tumuaki of Frankton Kura, which is Frankton School in New Zealand. Is that okay? That's great. Frankton School in Hamilton, New Zealand is a large urban school. It's bicultural first, and then it's multicultural. And at the end of last year, we finished with about 704 students, ranging from 5 to 10 and 11-year-olds. 10 years ago, a virtue seed fell on a fertile field. And I related to it. It just hit me in the soul, it hit me in the heart. So, as principal who has nurtured the seed, and I'm actually leaving my principalship in April 2nd, which is quite timely that we're here at the moment. I'm actually going into part-time consultancy using the 5 virtues to grow people, and people that are willing to grow and develop. But my board have been amazing. They have consulted with children, teachers, parents, the local community, asking amongst other questions, what do they want what don't they want to change at Frankton School? And guess what? It's the Virtues Character Development Project. So Linda, we have an integrated community, because that wouldn't happen if that was just one person and one school. But the community has said no, that must stay. So we have reawakened the spirit of the Frankton community. And while I stand here before you, I'm mindful that we have come this far, but I'm mindful about sustaining something. You can start something, you can get it going, but how do you sustain that in a fluid organisation like a school? And we're not as fluid as some schools. We have people coming in and we have people going out. So our induction program has to be really strong. Now people coming into our school have to at least have a heart for the virtues. They have to be able to connect, and then we do the work with them on the virtues. So my work is done at Frankton because our last ERO visit, and that's the outside audit for those who are not in education, they come in and they tick boxes and they say whether you've done this, that and the next thing. But this is the statement that we got, and to me it was my long-term vision, and it's come to fruition. The last number 2 in particular, the curriculum is underpinned by a virtues program that recognises all people as spiritual beings with unique potential. Now that is in a state school. And when the ERO officer said that that's what they wanted to put, I said, well, can you do that? And they said we do it in special character schools, we do it in Catholic schools, we do it in Anglican schools. But in this case, we're going to do it because when we walk in the gate, we feel this Virtues project. And we wondered whether they would be true to their word, and yes they were. The report came back. I would say we're the only state school in New Zealand that has that, as spiritual beings with unique potential. And Linda's got a copy of Noxie in my next book, because we're going to be writing a guide for leadership in schools, and we've got it in sort of draft form to support leadership in schools, because I tell you what, where the power base is in any organisation, if that person does not relate to the virtues, you can forget it. Because when we've been all around the world, Linda, we've had teachers come up to us with tears in their eyes saying, we're doing it, but we're doing it completely on our own. And it's tough. It is tough. So you have to have a whole school. And I know that Kimahia will be able to carry that theme through. So I'm going to read the journey for you, and then my team are going to take over from there. Te kakano, the seed. A single seed falls on fertile ground, germinating fresh ideas and optimum growing conditions. Ground nurtured with resilience and hope heralds new life. Roots take hold, spread and strengthen. With careful tending, pruning, weeding and occasional composting, buds burst forth. Fragrant blooms attract attention. Fruit is born, an abundance for all to share. A kitty is woven to gather the harvest. The fruit gives seeds. New life, new hope they scatter, and embed in fields both near and far. The keepers of the garden, and here we've got some of the keepers today, hold the vision, tend the land, and so the cycle begins again, all from a single seed that falls on fertile ground. And the kitty is a Māori, they weave with blacks these little baskets, like this. The kitty. When my 5-year-olds come into school, we now, and Noxie will talk a little bit more about this, we have a school metaphor. It's about a kitty. When I enrol, and I've always enrolled all my children myself because that's me and that's what I like to do, ka nohi ki te ka nohi, face-to-face, interaction. I gift each child a kitty. And in the kitty it's got a list of the virtues, and it has either a stone or a shell from my beach place that I go, my spiritual Tūranga Waiwai. This one is empty of a gift, but it's fallen out somewhere. And when I'm doing the enrolment, I ask the parent, what virtues are strong in these children? I always say they've got them all, but what's really strong? And some will say, one dad said, because the daughter was all over the office, very assertive, because she wanted to know if she was going to get a fat teacher. I thought, ooh, so that was gorgeous, and she got, I think she got the virtue of peacefulness or something. It was just so gorgeous. So they get this kitty, and I've started doing it for transient children. And for those that don't know the term, in New Zealand and other schools, you have children that the parents move because they can't. It's rented accommodation, and they keep moving. And so I've gifted them one too, because I believe no matter how long at our school, they are just as in need of a kitty as everyone else that's going to stay there 6 years. And when they leave at our graduation, we give them a kitty with a taonga in it, which is either a shell or a stone. So we have reawakened the spirit in a whole Frankton community, and I'm going to pass over to the team now. We've got a wonderful group of people. I'm mindful of sustaining, and so I actually created a position in our school, and Noxie as the keeper, officially the keeper of the virtues, because she's in a position now in the senior leadership team, you know, and you have to have somebody in that if you value it. So the new principal coming in, I have so much faith in our Board of Trustees. They're beautiful people. They will make the right choice. But walking alongside that person will be the keeper of the virtues.
Okay, so I'm going to follow on Roxy, and I am in the very fortunate position of being the Virtues Coordinator at our school. That gives me great joy. So to be in a joyous position, doing something that you love is really special. So we're going to talk about sustainability because we know, and I was talking to somebody a couple of hours ago, and we've got the virtues in a place now where after 10 years of careful nurturing and tending and weeding and composting, if we did nothing at all but kept doing what we were doing, we'd probably get a good 2 years of life out of the Virtues program. And then it would turn on itself, it would compost itself, and it would probably die. So we are very mindful that all the work that we have done from the inception that started with Judy to this and to our three little birds, to where we are now. So what you see behind you is our brand new Virtue Centre at Frankton School. And yeah, wow. So don't ever think that you can't dream big. For many years, we ran our Virtues help room, which is a lunchtime support room for our children, out of a corner of our computer suite. Kirsten will remember that because she was there. And I kept wanting more. There was an empty classroom, so I got hold of that, and we were able to work in the ex-dental clinic. But we always had a bigger vision. And a parent designed the facade for us, representing all the cultures, or as many cultures as we possibly could within our school. We have our Māori, our Pacifica, our Asian. And it's a joyous place to work. This is obviously the outside. We have our beautiful big sign. And inside it is a purpose-built space dedicated to virtues. We work in there every lunchtime, holding restorative conversations with children. I also work in there alongside classroom teachers to take virtue lessons for their children. I'm going to show you a couple of those later on. It's available for teachers to use because it's a neutral space. And it was really weird because when we built it and opened it, everybody that walked in this room said, wow, this is like, this feels, there's something about this room. And when I spoke to the architect, those of you who know a little bit about architecture will know about Fibonacci numbers. I didn't know about that. But there is a formula that the ancient Greeks decided upon, and they built their temples that way. And it was about creating an ambient space. It was, I don't know how it happened, but it did. And the length and the width of the room and the height of the ceilings create this amazing, I don't know, you have to feel it, but it's a very special place to be. So we're really lucky to have that. We made sure that the plaque was dedicated to Judy, and it's called the Judy Dixon Virtue Centre, and that's in honour of the work that she has done. And it's set in concrete. No one can take that away. It doesn't need to be a library. So that's the heart. That's the heart of our work. That's where it all is connected. So I'm going to ask you now to do a little bit of reflection. And I found this amazing poem. I won't embarrass myself by trying to pronounce this man's name. I wish I could, because I should learn, because I have a lot of his work. Some of you might be able to help me. So I'm going to get Shakib and Chris and Cherry to hand these out. And as they're being handed out, I just want you to reflect on what it actually means to you. It is about connecting at a soul level with how you are going to grow what you already have. Because if you just hold on to it, it's not going to go anywhere. And we know that. And if anybody can pronounce this person's name in Vietnamese, it would be great. Thich Nhat Hanh. So let's think about. I love this, and do write over it or keep it. It's a gift. I found it quite accidentally when I was looking for a new calendar for my office, and I was like, oh, that looks, wow, it's his work. And when I saw that, it tied in beautifully. So, does anybody want to tell me what that might mean to them? What's the message in his beautiful poem? What does it mean to you?
Foundations are important.
Foundations are really important. You know, there is a lot on the surface, and if you just feed the surface, it's going to look brilliant. If you feed the surface and polish those leaves, they're going to look amazing. But there'll be no growth. Because often the growth happens where nobody can see it. And especially for those of us who are at a beginning level with the Virtues program, it is hard work. Because you don't see that fruit. You might not see that, you'll feel it, but it won't be highly visible. But the hard work is happening at the foundation and the root level. So just have that and just reflect on it. So we've got a couple of things to share with you. Judy talked about the induction of our new staff. When you come into our school, it can be very, very overwhelming. So we have a very deliberate process of working alongside our new teachers. We've built up a resource over the year, and I'll hand these out and you can just turn in your groups and have a wee look at them. It's a starting point, and where we are at now, we are working with our community, our families in particular, and when they come to our workshops, we give them a resource kit to take home and work in their families with, so that it's not just heard about, but it's actually lived and actioned in the home. Our next area for sustainability will be to move into our wider community and invite our local businesses in. That's my dream for this year. So we feel that by having everything in one place, right from storying what the Virtue Project actually is about, to master copies of all the certificates and everything that we use, the story behind our classroom metaphors, it's in a document. And we find this really, really useful because we're all on the same page. So I'm going to just spend 5 minutes, and if you can just sort of get in groups of about 5 or 6 and just have a wee look, it'll give you an idea about some of the stuff that we're doing. I'm just very mindful of the time, but that's a little bit of what we do and what we have been able to provide for our teachers as they move into running things within their own classroom. So it's not just words, it's not just a concept, but it's actually, there are some tangible things, right down to how you might want to write a report comment, because we expect our teachers, when they do write a report comment, to use the language of the virtues. So that's why we had those examples in there. So And that's a work in progress. It always is. Every year we update it, every year we add to it, we find new things to do. The next section will be growing out into our community. So one of the things I'm often asked by teachers is what can I actually do with my kids? So these are really simple activities, and I'm going to just get the packs out to the same groups. We have 26 virtues that we focus on at Frankton School, and we know that probably now is a good time to go back into our community and say, what are these, the ones that we want to look at? We look at them all, but these are our 26 core virtues, which you've seen in there. So I'm developing resource packs for our teachers to use, and some of them I'll go in and model the packs with the children. Some of them they can just come and get a pack off me. So inside each pack is a virtues card, which has been double-sided and laminated. You have to laminate everything, something like that. There is a little card game, and it's the do or the don'ts. And the children sit in a group, and you have to decide and agree whether that is showing a virtue or whether that's something they need to grow. And you can take those where you want to, because with the children you can say, well, give me an example. What might that look like? Show me how that might look. What would it sound like? And then there is a drama card, and you'll find the drama card at the back, and in the drama card there is a range of activities. Within their group of 6 you might have 2 little plays. Really simple, so when you're having a look at them, think that you're 8, okay? Or 10, or the age you are now, because it really doesn't matter. So, Chris or Keith, they can just go out to the groups and just have a wee look. It's not rocket science, but it's about trying to use what we have and making sure that they go a little bit deeper. And as a teacher, you're always looking for ways, okay, that might be a really good comprehension activity. Can we find 10 synonyms for friendliness? Let's go through a magazine and find pictures of people showing friendliness. There's a whole heap of activities that you can do.
Not more pink?
No. I think yeah, I'll leave them out. I'll put them on the table. Yeah. But they're really simple.
Not sure what I'm doing here. Oh, that's the same.
So, once again, as we were talking, that's about sustaining practice. It's about deepening people's understanding. It's about going deeper for our children, because we've sent children off to intermediate now who've only ever been to a virtue school. It's deeply embedded. It's deeply embedded within our community, and it's deeply embedded within our staff. But all of that has come about by some very deliberate acts. We're really mindful that everything we do in Virtue needs to be underpinned by the 5 strategies. So with the staff this year, we've been looking at the 5 strategies, and I've created charts for them that they can have in their classrooms that we've done a lot of professional learning about, so that there is a practical understanding, so that they're not just a phrase. And using the family guide is the best resource in the world, because all of that is Linda's work paraphrased. I have the educator's guide, but the family guide is my go-to book. It's so user-friendly. And for some people who they need to know, so what do I do, what don't I do, what is this companioning, which is often the scariest one. How do you do boundaries? What is that about? So we've created some very, very practical charts for teachers, which you would have seen in the handbook. So we're delving deeper. So, gosh, I know I'm running out of time. I've got so much I'd love to share. But what we're going to do now is I want you to reflect, either personally or as a member of an institution, or even both, what are you able and willing to commit to sustain and grow your commitment and your practice? Because it's all very deliberate. And I'm going to get a little tree out to you. And we've got some beautiful colours here. I'm very mindful we have got 7 minutes. It's not something that you're probably going to finish today, but this is your little virtues tree. At the moment, what do your leaves, what does your fruit, are you going to draw some fruit on there? Has your labour borne fruit? What do your leaves look like? What are you going to put on your leaves? But most importantly, what in your practice are you going to do to sustain yourself, first of all, in virtues? Because if you can't sustain yourself, it's going to be really hard to sustain anybody else.
I guess the reflection is also looking at your personal journey as well, and just where are you at with that, because ours was on sustainability. Where are you at with sustainability and the virtues journey? So that's the reflection. Okay? And where would you like to be? Yes?
Yeah.
You're free. Yeah.
Well, you're free.
If you...
Probably grow quite well, the island.
Anyone want more colour in your life?
Okay, just sorry people, I feel like I'm like a really bad teacher, giving you something to do and then stopping you and starting to talk. But I am really mindful of honouring our time barrier. We're going to leave some of these resources out on the table. Chris, if you could put your hand up. Cherry, Shaki, Judy and myself, over the course of the weekend we're really happy to talk to you and share with you some of the things that we've done. That little virtue tree is for you, because you might not want to write anything on it at the moment. You might be thinking, well, actually I know the fruit I want, or I don't know the fruit I want. But you should all be writing at your root level, attending mentorship, because that's really important. Building connections, talking to people, reading, all those things that you do, that's nurturing the root system. That's really, really important. I honour you all for that. So we're going to close now, and we have a couple of gifts for you.
While Knox is finding the gifts, can I ask for the virtues of honour to the lovely people who meet us for colouring and pencils to be returned up there when you finish, please, and respect to because we need to give these colouring pencils.
So Chris is going to, and Cherry are going to bring around you a gift of our poem, which we hope will sustain you, because we're all at a different place with our growth in virtues. But we all started with a seed. And Robin will laminate them for you at a later stage. I'm going to it's a beautiful because our school runs on So I'm going to finish our session with our school metaphor, which for those of you who know New Zealand and multicultural will know the significance of the kete. Our school metaphor states that it is my responsibility to fill my kete with things that will help me and to share the things in my kete that will help others. Together we can make the world a better place. That's what we start our 5-year-olds on, because that is what we truly believe. The kete is not empty when they come, we just add to it. And we're always adding. So I hope today we've been able to add a little bit to your kete, and we have one final gift, and you'll pick the one that sings to you. These are gifts that we give out at our school, and we'd like to give one to each of you.
Thank you very much to you all, the school team. That little song that we sang, is a song of virtue is listed. Te aroha, the love. Te whakapono, the truth. Te rangimarie, the peace. Tātou within all of us. Thank you so much. And for people, I know you'll feel like me, we want to know more, we want to follow up. Please visit the website. Frankton School have got a website. fracktonschool.ac.nz. So www.franktonschool.ac.nz. And as they've offered a kind invitation, you can speak to them and find out more, because they're just a gift to everybody. And I'd like you all to give a big hand to them. Wonderful work they do.